Hey everybody, welcome back to the latest episode of Inside Columbia Basketball, presented by Vandewater. I'm Mike Kowalski, joined by Megan Rojas and Kyle Matrician. What's going on today?
Hey guys.
Busy day of Zooming, Mike.
Yeah, a lot of recording today.
Yeah.
You're going to tell because me and Kyle are going to be wearing the same clothes in all the Twitch recordings.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. I'm just kidding.
So we've got Abby Shu from the women's basketball team and Eddie Turner from men's basketball. They're both sophomores, so you'll hear from them shortly. Before we get that underway, I've been watching a little bit of college basketball and everything. And I wanted to ask you guys a question before we throw it to break. So do we think when we start playing again next year, what's the dress code going to be for us? Are we going back to like suits and like dressing up, or are we sticking with like the khaki pullover game? Any insight on that, Ro?
If it depends. The only reason that I know that that's happening is just to make it easier and more comfortable, I believe. So if the world is back to some sort of a normalcy, I would imagine everyone's going to go back to dressing up, which, to be honest, is what I would prefer. I think I enjoy that.
You enjoy the dressing up?
Yeah.
Kyle, what do you think? What would you prefer?
I mean, in the
Whatever
SID world, Mike, it depends on what school you go to. I mean, even around the Ivy League, some schools we go, I mean, I always have a suit on, and I've just done that my entire short career as an SID. But some schools we go to, and it's just like they're just in khakis and a polo.
Basketball is more suits, though. Not.
I said some.
Football is more polos and khakis and stuff.
Yeah, well, outdoor, yeah.
But for us, the other thing is like we're plugging stuff in and like moving around and like.
I would love to not wear a suit, but
so,
I also
like,
at the same time kind of like it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like I'll do whatever I'm told essentially, but I was just curious to see if there's any movement, if that's going to be more of a permanent thing. I mean, there's really no reason for the coaches to dress up. Like,
I haven't had to get a suit dry cleaned in quite a while. Got to be honest.
Yeah, that's been something different this year, not having like to deal with all of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To be honest, I think our staff enjoys dressing up, but we could be like the outliers. It's like a look good, feel good, do good kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I miss about the dress ups are Greg Rosnick's socks and Greg Rosnick's scarf.
Yeah.
What scarf and what game scarf? I so wish one game he would just keep the scarf on during the game. I want him to so badly.
He loves a good scarf.
He does.
Yeah.
That's a little known fact about Columbia women's basketball. Does he have certain scarves or socks that he wears based on games we've won?
I don't think he's very superstitious. I know he has like a game scarf, but
he is a little stitious.
Terrible.
My wife's in the background laughing at that.
So bad.
Yeah, but that's at least from The Office.
Exactly. That's why she's laughing. She loves that show.
I don't know. I don't remember that joke.
I'm funny in my house, guys. I'm funny in my house.
That's all that matters, and that's all.
She says we're gonna get sued by NBC, so maybe
we should get sued by NBC. That means we've made it somewhere.
Yes, right.
Our new sponsor, Peacock. Watch all the episodes of The Office there.
Yes, you can. Oh my God, that's funny. All right. On that note, I think we've taken up enough of people's time getting ready for this podcast. So
we might be the only three people that actually care about that. And you guys didn't seem to care as much. I thought it would be
Mike, we didn't ask you though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think for us, like in our situation, the fact that we do have to move around, we're doing a lot of setup. I would prefer a little bit more casual, but again, I'm not opposed to it. When I buy suits, I keep that in mind. I'm not having like a very form-fitting suit. Like I can't go with the European style because if I have to plug something in,
you can now though. You've lost quite a bit of weight. Like, you would look good in a European style suit now. Nice. I would,
but like I said, like
on you,
but that's not an option.
I would look ridiculous. I can't. God. Mine would just have like the buttons popping out, and you can see. Oh God, it'd be miserable. But
thanks
Mike,
for bringing up that.
your sweater game has been. I
sweater game
really
is-
appreciate your
So,
sweater game
but
during
no,
basketball
My
season.
sweater game was because my suits didn't fit me when I was heavier. That's the secret.
But I
behind
love the sweater game. I semi-adopted the sweater game.
Yeah, sweater game's good. I mean,
With the tie underneath.
Yeah,
The collared
yeah.
shirt and the tie underneath and the sweater over top.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I save the good suits for the bigger games too. That's the other thing. Like, do you guys do that? Like, do you save like your really nice dress clothes for like big time opponents, or you just like if we're playing like no offense, if we're playing Marist, I'm not busting out like the really good navy blue suit. Like, I'm saving that for Harvard.
Mike, I've got three
Guys.
options. I've got gray suit, which is most games. I've got black suit, which is more special games with a pinstripe going through it. And then what I switch with the gray suit is the blue sport jacket with khaki or gray or whatever colored
Very
pants.
preppy look.
The prep, yes, prep school look,
That's cool, boy.
yes.
I have zero shame in the fact that I choose my outfits based on what game it is. Absolutely.
Well, you kind of need to a degree, is in terms of what colors you're going to wear. You don't want to be wearing the
Have
opposing
you
team's
ever
colors.
worn the color of your opponent on the bench on accident?
No, but somebody has on our trip before, haven't they?
Really?
I thought like a couple years ago somebody came on that somebody was like wearing.
I don't want to talk about that or bring that up. But yeah. Yes. Yes, but anyway. So
I don't remember who it was. Who was it? We can cut it out.
I also have zero shame in the fact that if I know our photographer will be there, I'm also
stepping it up.
wearing a great outfit. So when years go by and they're going back to 2021 or 2019, 2020 album, they're going to think, wow, she dressed up great for every game. Meanwhile, I just knew when the photographer was coming.
That's amazing.
And we talked about last thing on this. We did talk about Greg Rosnick not being very superstitious. I definitely have a shirt that is checkered Columbia blue and white that we never win when I wear. So I've stopped wearing it to game days. Like it just was, I'm like, it sucks because it's perfect colors. It looks great. It's a great shirt. And I can't wear it on game days now because it doesn't bring the good juju. So
Maybe you can bring it back next year, though. It's been long enough.
yeah, it's been a while. So
it's taking a leave of absence.
we'll try. Maybe we'll try it again.
You're sure unenrolled this year.
Good one. Good one. That's
What? Oh my God!
We're gonna wrap it up here.
No, we got to end it on that note because that's
All right.
the perfect way.
I don't want to ruin it.
We will be back with Abby Shu right after this.
They say you play basketball, you play football, you play tennis, but you can't play boxing. You have to fight. I remember the night where it went completely downhill. It was a massive tumor that had wrapped itself around my spine. Dr. Hartle, who was my surgeon, he aced it. They resurrected me. On August 9th, 2014, I became the WBA middleweight champion of the world.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Get back the life you love.
All right, welcome back to the Inside Columbia Basketball Podcast, presented by Vandewater. We are now joined with our first guest of the episode, Abby Shu, joining us from her hometown in Parkland, Florida, from her home with a nice aquarium there in the background, although it does look a little green, I guess, on the Zoom call. I don't know if it needs to be cleaned or not. I don't know if that's your responsibility.
Yeah, start, Kyle.
It's not a
You
dead.
didn't even give her a chance.
Just threw her under the bus at the very start here. But Abby, appreciate you joining us. How's everything going?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Living the Florida life.
Nice. What's the temperature right now?
It's probably like mid-70s. Pretty nice out.
Nice. It's not mid-70s in New Jersey.
About
Yeah.
30.
Wow. Yeah. What is it, like 30 degrees today?
Yeah, it's a little chilly.
Abby Shu joining us, like I said, from Parkland, Florida. She was a 2019-20 All Ivy League selection. Came, I want to say, very close to being named Ivy League Rookie of the Year. And to a lot of us here at Columbia, maybe should have been Ivy League Rookie of the Year, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Scored 385 points. Her freshman season, had a terrific freshman season where she played and started all 27 games for the Lions to help them clinch a berth to the Ivy League tournament, which we all know the team obviously wound up not attending due to the pandemic, but nonetheless, an extremely successful season for the Columbia women's basketball team as a freshman. And we're happy that you're joining us today. Can you just give us an update on what's going on with you back at home, and just get the listeners and the fans tuned into what's going on?
Yeah, so still working out, still keeping in shape. We have our team meetings, and I guess I'm not in school right now. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
You are.
Okay, not in school right now. But yeah, just working and saving up money. Getting excited for next year.
Nice. What do you? What's your part? I guess assume part-time job right now.
So I work at a sushi restaurant. Japanese and Thai food. Yeah.
Nice. What's your go-to sushi roll at the restaurant that you work at? Because I know it probably has an interesting name, unless it's just like spicy salmon, but I assume it's not.
So I don't know if this is like a common roll or just at our restaurant. So there's two rolls. It's sushi bomb or the what was it called?
California roll, right?
No, I don't
I knew you were gonna say that, Kyle.
I think salmon crunch. Yeah, salmon crunch. We're gonna go with that.
Oh, what's the second one you said?
Salmon crunch.
Salmon crunch. I do like a good crunch roll.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of rainbow rolls whenever I get. I mean, I feel like all sushi places have rainbow. Oh, you made a face. You see the face? She just made a face.
Funny roll, but with some little top.
It's no, it's not. It's like you get like 5 different fish on a rainbow roll. They just have different fish on the top. And it is not. Don't do that to me.
I'll eat
do that to me.
Rainbow roll, Oh, wow.
We're gonna throw up a poll. What's your favorite type of sushi? We'll give you 4 or 5 options. Maybe we'll do that on the Twitch.
Maybe.
That's a good idea.
We could do a Twitch poll right now.
Run up the poll.
Run it up. Brendan Bissett, if you're moderating right now, throw the poll up.
I'm telling you, if you have a sushi bomb, you'll change your mind.
What is in a sushi bomb?
I don't really know. It's like, I'm guessing tuna, like all that good stuff. But it's like, what's different about the salmon crunch and sushi bomb? It's like deep fried. Very healthy.
The whole thing is deep fried?
Yeah. Wait, what did you say?
The whole thing is deep fried?
Yeah, and it's so good. And you put your spicy mayo, your eel. It's so good. You gotta come to Florida to try it.
I can say I've never had a deep fried sushi roll, because I always feel like I've seen them at restaurants, but I feel like if I went for it, that I'm all of a sudden eating cooked food and not sushi. But it's probably just like slightly, it's like thrown in the deep fryer for like a few seconds.
Like once I have, like I can't have like normal sushi now, like the cold stuff. It's not as good, I'm telling you.
I think you've just lost some credibility.
What is your like job there? Are you a waitress? Are you taking care?
It's like you kind of do everything there. So like I'll deliver, and then like bus tables, all that good stuff. And it's kind of like, when it gets crazy, it's like you don't really have a job title. It's like you're doing this, you're doing that. You know what I mean? It's one of those type of jobs.
Nice.
So working in a restaurant during COVID times and everything, what's that like? What are you limited capacity? I know things are a lot different in Florida than in New York, but what's that experience like? A lot of mask wearing and things like that.
Oh yeah, all like the basic protocols, like mask, gloves, like cleaning tables. But we have outdoor seating, which is good, and so it doesn't get too crowded inside, which is good. So most of our orders are deliveries, which is good because that's where I make my money off of. So the tips. Yeah,
I can say I've worked in the restaurant. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No. I was gonna say I've worked in the restaurant business before, but not Not at a sushi place. Didn't
You're
have that
missing
luxury.
out. You're
I
missing
know. Maybe I'll just, you know what? I'm gonna hang it up. What's the name of the place? I'm gonna move to Florida, start working at the sushi restaurant.
You can add him as a sponsor.
Get him as a sponsor. Throw out the logo.
I would
called
like
Bluetooth.
to have a throwback conversation to when we interviewed Abby Kyle when we were playing last season on the road. We did a interview.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
I don't
He's back
remember.
on track.
I don't remember who we were playing.
Rose doesn't normally reel us in, but she's like, all right, guys, basketball.
Yeah, let's run it back. Well, actually, this is not. No, don't think it's not what you think.
It's not what it, okay.
I'm gonna
It's
bring
not what
up
it looks
that
like or
we
sounds
talked
like.
about Abby's caption in her Twitter.
Oh my god, amazing. Amazing.
It was her.
I think she changed it because it was Instagram.
So it's on Twitter and Instagram. So
It's like my favorite thing ever.
So my Twitter one says, "Did a shrimp fry this rice?" And then my Instagram says, "Yes, a shrimp did fry this rice." You gotta be following both to understand, you know.
You have to be following your Instagram second, which is the best part.
Yeah. Can you add like my ads right here? So I guess give me a little shout
Shout
out.
out right here.
Does your employer know about these?
That's why she got the job.
I said that might be why she got the job. They actually followed her on
She
Twitter and
said, "You
Instagram,
follow
and they
me
were
on
like,
social media?"
amazing.
Perfect.
That's incredible.
That's like my favorite caption of all time. I'd like to recreate it, but I don't think I can. There's nothing.
No, I feel like I'm just like stealing intellectual property at this point.
I give you full permission. Don't worry.
Well, now this is a whole name, image, and likeness conversation,
trying
and
to
then we're
move
gonna
it.
have to pull Aisley Carter back in again, and it's a whole deal.
We need to make T-shirts like.
Just on the front and then the back.
Oh, that'd be an amazing T-shirt.
One of us just has the other one. That's what it needs to be.
That'd be an amazing T-shirt. And on
Only
the
makes sense
front,
if you're with someone like together.
so like you said, your Twitter is "Did a shrimp fry this rice?" And then you have a Twitter logo on the front, and then on the back, the Instagram caption with an Instagram logo.
Yeah. So if you need the answer, you gotta follow my Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Package deal.
Mike, I never know where these podcasts are going to take us.
No, this is great.
And today, it's taking us.
Breaking it up.
Well, I'm glad that Ro brought that up because that was an amazing interview we did with Abby last year. So
I do miss doing them in person.
The
Yeah.
mics are what made it. It's like,
Oh my god.
and we're back.
And we're back. We're bringing it back. There's this amazing. I think I retweeted the other day. It's like this amazing video about people who do podcasts.
I
And
saw,
it's like
I
he's
saw
like
it when you
holding
bumped
the
it.
mic and he's like, yeah, so like, and he's just like playing with the mic. And I literally do that. I'm just like, hold on, let me assess my microphone and mic. Hold on, can you 1, 2, 3, 4, hold on, and we're back. Like I just loved that so much. This is not
My
a
favorite part is just like hearing the other people.
Yeah.
breathe.
hold on, what? Huh? We're doing a podcast.
guys, I'm not gonna lie. Recently, in like watching podcasts and other things online and seeing people with like the microphone that they can pull over their mouth, I've wanted to buy one. So I think I'm like there might come a time where I buy one, and then all of a sudden we're gonna have a podcast, and I'm just gonna pull that. Just gonna.
I have
look
one in
very
my.
professional.
I don't use it. I don't have the dongle. I need to figure that out.
Abby Shu, I guess Abby, now that we've had a lot of the fun conversation, basketball is fun. I'm not saying basketball isn't fun, but we will throw it back to last basketball season. I do want to ask you, and I'm sure you think about, obviously, this season being canceled and with all the success that the team had last season and you had individually last season, is there like a particular moment of last season that sticks out to you, whether it have been a game that the team either won or lost, whether it had been like a moment within a game? Is there anything that sticks out to you? Like when you think of last season, what's like the first thing that comes to your mind right now?
It was probably when we beat Yale at their house, their court. I don't know why it's their house.
You can call it their house.
Yeah.
I think they're under.
Although now it's your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the locker room after that was so fun. Like we're always, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. You know, I just miss those moments.
Wasn't there a TikTok made in that locker room after the game?
Yeah, there sure was. That was the second one that we had, I think. That was the second sweep video.
I was like, that was definitely not the second TikTok that you ever made. That was like the 50th.
Oh yeah.
You know what's crazy? You know, I want to take credit, but you know who got Roxy into TikToks?
I'm gonna have to guess based on what you just said was you.
Well, it was me and Carly Rivera, also known
Yes.
as.
Was that the pencil pen video? Is that what got her into TikToks, or was that
think
before?
we showed her like a get up one that we did, and then she was in love by it, and like she went crazy. Got a TikTok look. Was like, I think I'm gonna do this.
Guys, yeah, I'm gonna go viral.
Bro, how is the TikTok going? How is it? I mean, I'm sure it's tough these days, but you are a content creator after all.
Yes, I will be honest. It has been very hard because we are not in person to make them. But Madison Hardy did send me one that she made this past weekend when she was with a couple of the girls. But I didn't put it on her own. It's kind of a weird time because like we're not all together. But I would like to, yes, I will give Abby, Carly, and Katie credit for sure for getting me in, for making me realize TikTok was going to be so big, because during that time, like, I don't think anyone really realized it was going to blow up like that. Like the app itself, it was just like young people. It was way before sports teams got into it. Leagues weren't on TikTok. We might have been the only, like the first team ever to be on it. Like maybe.
We're pretty much influencers at this point.
Yeah. We were like big time.
So I remember when you made, it was like preseason last season, you had made a TikTok video and I had no idea. And that don't mean anything by that. And you started texting me and you were like, oh my God, we're viral. And then I'm like, what is she talking about? And I went on Twitter and I was in the office and I'm sitting with Mike Kowalski. So I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. And I went on Twitter to like see what was posted on Twitter. I'm like, I don't know. It has like 3 retweets and 20 likes, I guess. I don't really know what she means. And then I went on Instagram and I was like, well, it's got like a normal amount of likes. I really don't know what I guess. And then so I just responded to you like, great, or something like that.
There you go.
The pen one? Oh my God.
I think it was when you guys were on one of the trips, like before the season, one of the exhibition games.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
At Nova,
right?
Villanova
scrimmage.
When you got off the bus.
Oh
right?
my God. It was like slow-mo.
Yeah, like I know, I watched the video and I was like, I don't understand. I don't understand why this blew up.
So stupid. I don't know why either. It had like 1 billion likes. Like Abby comes out like real, it's like slow, and then like I do like a stupid filter and it like shakes.
What is can you tell us the name of the fish that we got in the background there?
So these are my brother's fish, but okay, wait, let me remember.
Can you bring us over so we can get a closer look?
No, don't do that.
Okay.
You don't need to do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Just send us pictures. We
Yeah.
have it now.
All right, so we got Blaze, Cherry. That's all I remember, to be honest. He like tells me every day, like, "Oh, Blaze is doing so good today." Like, but I forget.
You see Blaze swimming around today? He looks so good.
Yeah. But I like to call it. There's like 3 similar, and I was like, you should have named them like the Migos or something. That would have been perfect.
Abby, how close do you live to the water? To me, Florida is like near.
Yeah.
Well, typically, if you don't live near the water comes to you at some point during the day.
Mm.
That joke didn't go over well. Abby just rolled her eyes at me. She's just like, yeah.
And we're back.
Oh man.
At most like 20 minutes. Unless if there's traffic, you know.
Do you go often or not really?
Honestly, no. But yeah, I don't know. Even throughout like my whole life, I was just never like, let's go to the beach, guys. But I'll go once in a while. You know, when Hannah Pratt's in town, we go a lot, but that's about it.
What else are you doing to fill your time now? Other than working and working out? I
got one friend in town, and I don't know, I just kind of just hang out with like one friend. You know, I live with my brother now, so just hang out with him. Yeah.
Is it weird not being in school? Like you've been doing it, you've had the kind of the same schedule between basketball and school, like pretty much your whole life. Now, how different is it without having that?
It is weird, but I don't know. I feel like I learned a lot, not like dissing school or anything, but like I feel like I learned a lot, like I don't know, just working and like, you know, the value of money and stuff. I don't know, that sounds crazy, but I just learned other avenues like stock market. I don't know, talking with.
This has become a financial podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to talk stocks and ETFs and mutual funds with Abbey Shu.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you actually something unrelated from last year that I don't think I've ever asked you on the podcast. When the shoe thing in the crowd came about at games last year and people would put their shoes up in the air when you scored, the shoe crew and dub themselves the shoe crew. How did you did you talk to them about that at all? Did they approach? I mean, were they people that you knew or were they random people that just started doing it?
So they are people that we knew, like I believe most of them were in the class above me. So like, you know, the Hannah Pratt, all of them class. I think they're mostly Hannah Pratt's friends, you know, Hannah Pratt's friend with everybody. And I don't know, they just started doing it and I was just like, okay. I don't know. I thought it was cool, but yeah.
It is cool. I think it's so cool. There's a really good picture of them holding up their shoe, the shoe crew that is. Not to knock on Kyle, but
I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going with this, and I've already claimed responsibility.
In the beginning of
even though I did deflect it.
At Columbia basketball, there was once a type of shoe used for your name on social media.
It was a red heel.
And it was a red heel.
And I was told not to do that anymore. And I said,
we said, sir.
Not her style. How did you, because we didn't really ask you, we just started doing it. How did you take the shoe emoji on social media? Were you a fan of it? Not a fan of it? Indifferent?
Yeah, I was a fan of it. Probably my whole life I was just referred to as a shoe, you know, because my last name. So it was kind of like, okay, it's what we're doing, you know. It's cool.
Do people often mispronounce your name like badly?
Oh yeah. Oh, not like terribly, but just it's like they'll say Hsu and I'll be like, no, it's Shu, and they'll be like Hsu. I'm like, they'll stare into my eyes and be like Hsu. I'm like, no. It's tough because the spelling's tough.
Backwards.
Well, that's about all the time we have for Abby this week.
One question.
Of course you do.
Bro, just thought of something. Presented by your ad here.
Presented by fill in the blank. Abby, you haven't been in New York now for 9 or 10 months. 9 now, almost 10. What is the main, aside from our team and we're fun and the staff and playing basketball, what is the main thing that you miss the most about New York City?
I mean, just the city itself. I know it's like a basic answer, but just being able to walk outside the dorm and literally go to Chipotle 2 blocks down if I wanted to, or, you know, get any food you could possibly imagine, you know, just by walking. Even the noise I miss, you know.
Yeah.
How much noise is there, like, in those dorm rooms where you guys are? Like are you talking about, like, you can hear all the noise, like, when you're in your residence in your dorms, or are you talking about just the noise when you're outside?
Not necessarily, but, like, I mean, Carmen, the freshman building, is, like, you know, right, I guess, on Broadway, so it's not, like, annoying noise. It's, like, you know,
just
nice
people being
noise.
alive.
Yeah.
People
just
talking.
Cars.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But,
car crash. Have you heard of car crash in your dorm room before?
no, not yet.
Not yet.
Mark.
Sorry, Kyle, how many times do you think a truck has gone
I don't
through
know.
the
but we've
overpass
missed it.
3280 since we've been gone?
Yeah. So,
So-
quick background. You do it.
Okay. So our office is up at 3280 Broadway, which is a little bit off campus, and
It's
there's
like at 133rd and Broadway.
it's where the subway is elevated. It's above ground, and at least once a year, a large truck tries to go under the underpass or under the subway tracks and smashes into it, and you hear this loud crash. And everybody at 3280 hears it, and they immediately go to the window just to like point and laugh at the driver. That's the idiot that tried to go through
Clearance,
like under
man.
the
There is a
subway
there's a
tracks.
clearance sign there, right? Isn't
There's
there?
definitely a clearance sign. You need to you need to know your limits,
Yeah.
and it's a
It
big
happens
noise,
once a
and
year.
Everybody just like is like, oh, there it is. Like
It
that's,
happens once a year.
and then with like,
Somebody
Going
tries
through
to-
your head. Like I think I could make it.
And you know what it is too? You know what it is too? Every time they hit it so hard. It's not like it's like they
it's like
just
soft
go
thing,
for it.
Yeah.
Like
You know,
if I go fast enough.
Maybe I'll just scrape
I'll
it
go
and just keep
through it.
going. Yeah. And it's
The
so
momentum will take us
loud when
through.
it happens. Yeah. Yeah. And then one time a guy did it. Didn't they have to like repair the overpass for
Yeah,
a
when
while?
I first started about 8 or 9 years ago, it happened. I think before I started, or soon after I started. Like the underpass was like closed for a couple months because it created so much damage. Like it was ridiculous. Just crazy. It's like one of those like workplace accident signs, like 0 days since the last time truck hit subway tracks.
Ugh.
And that was Ro Just Thought of Something, presented by your ad here. If you'd like to sponsor Ro Just Thought of Something, feel free to give us an email.
I need a spot.
Comment. You do.
Really
You do. You do. You do.
Figure that out.
But on that note, we are going to let Abby go. Abby, again, appreciate your time today. It was really fun catching up with you. Great conversation. I hope everybody else enjoyed watching and listening to that as well. Abby, you can watch this episode stream live tomorrow, Friday. Sorry, I don't want to give away when we recorded this. Friday morning on Twitch, twitch.tv/Go Columbia Lions. Your face will be on there. You can also go on YouTube after the fact and watch the episode on YouTube as well, and all of our other podcast channels. So on that note, Mike, throw us to
Sure,
break
let's
because I
break.
forgot who we're talking to next.
We're talking to Eddie Turner from men's basketball. He's a sophomore from Seattle, so stick around. We all know what comes with being a fan, the ups, the downs, and everything in between. Share a Coke with a friend. Coca-Cola, the official beverage of the Columbia Lions.
At Athletic Brewing Company, we've built America's first craft non-alcoholic brewery. We've created a lineup of award-winning non-alcoholic beers. Our beers are made with organic grains and start at only 50 calories. Athletic beers are perfect for anyone who loves being healthy and active, but also loves to enjoy great tasting beer with friends. To give us a try, go to athleticbrewingcompany.com and use code athletic20 for 20% off your first order.
We're back with part 2 of our Inside Columbia Basketball podcast. We're now joined by Eddie Turner, sophomore from Seattle. Eddie, thanks so much for coming on with us today.
Thank you guys for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
So are you still in Seattle or are you back in New York? Where are you right now?
Yeah, I'm still in Seattle right now.
Okay, what's that been? Oh, go ahead.
I'm still in Seattle right now. Things are starting to open back up a little bit. So I guess it's the best place for me to be right now as far as training and as far as school.
And you've been there since the beginning. Seattle was hit really hard from the beginning. What was it like going back after everything, the Ivy League tournaments were canceled and spring sports and all that?
Yeah, we were actually hit first before everyone else pretty much. So I was kind of worried about coming back. But, my family's here, my mom's here. And so I wanted to come back and be there with them. But a lot of fear going on, a lot of, don't walk next to me. A lot of people not going to the grocery stores, like grocery stores not having toilet paper. Everyone's grabbing 6 gallons of milk or, 18 rolls of toilet paper, more than what they need. And so when you would actually go to the grocery store, there actually wouldn't be anything on the shelves, but a lot of people in line. So it's pretty fear-based from the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like we experienced that in the Northeast some as well. I feel like I have been going to the grocery store lately, and I feel like just lately it's been like where I can go to the grocery store and everything's actually there. Whereas for like the first 6, 7, 8 months, it was like there would be stuff there, but there would also be like sections of things, like whether it was paper towels, whether it was cleaning supplies, whether it was toilet paper, like it was just like something would be missing, right? Because everybody was going crazy for it. Milk, bread.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because when I was on campus, right before I came back, I actually went to a store maybe a block or two away and tried to get as much cleaning supplies, and hand sanitizer was big at the time. So I was actually able to get a few bottles before they ran out on campus. So it was pretty interesting.
So I guess, let's walk us back a little bit to last season and how you felt everything went. Obviously, you were injured at the start of the season. Were you expecting to miss time early, or was that a little bit unexpected for you? Tell us, walk us through your story a little bit of coming back during Ivy League play for those who aren't familiar with it.
Oh, yes. So for you guys that are not familiar, I didn't play the whole non-conference schedule, and I missed half of the Ivy League schedule. Coming back, going into my freshman year, I didn't know if I was going to miss games or anything, but I ended up getting kind of like an emergency procedure, PRP injections in my patellar tendons to try to bring the pain down to another level so that it's tolerable and so that I can play full games with the team in practice. Coming back, it was a little difficult. Honestly, I didn't expect to play. I didn't expect to get in the game because I was so brand new. I missed learning the plays. I missed defensive practices. I missed a lot of drills that my teammates were able to do for 4 or 5 months before I even stepped on the court. So everything was so brand new. I was kind of shocked. My body was shocked, but I had a great time. I was really thankful that coach believed in me and he was able to put me on the court.
What was it like? So when did you initially sorry, let me go back. When did you initially hurt your knees? Was that back in high school, or was that during the preseason of freshman year?
Okay, so it's pretty funny. I actually injured my knee right after I graduated high school. So I did a postgraduate year at St. Thomas More in Connecticut, and I was gonna go play there for 1 season as a postgraduate, and I injured my knee maybe 3 or 4 days after I got there, and I couldn't play anymore. So I ended up getting surgery in December of 2018, and then I came back too early. I was really excited to play. I wanted to just get better, get stronger, and get ready for Columbia, but I came back too early and ended up having to get a second procedure. And so I kind of took that one slowly. But again, I got excited, just a young kid, not really knowing what I was doing. And I was sort of on my own a little bit with the therapy because it was summer, and I was traveling back and forth from Connecticut to Seattle. And so I was kind of going how I felt. But a lot of times with surgeries, a lot of time with injuries, the main thing is tomorrow, not really today. So
yeah.
Talk about stepping on the court, in game for the first time, and it just, happened to be an Ivy League game, during your freshman season, and finally getting on the court, with that Columbia jersey on.
It felt amazing, honestly. I was really happy. I was really proud to be a Lion because obviously college for people like myself isn't always an option unless it's basketball. So I'm particularly happy that I'm able to do my college education at Columbia. So I was really excited and stepping on the court. It was a long time, so my nerves were a little bad. The blood was flowing a lot, and so I was really excited, a little antsy. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at last season, once you got the go ahead to play, I don't know if there was much choice because with Gabe being out last year and Mike Smith having so many minutes, I mean, we needed another guard in the backcourt. So talk about what you learned from those two guys as you were getting ready to get into those first few games and what you learned from them last season.
Yeah, so those guys are amazing. I'll forever be thankful for them, and going forward, the lessons that they taught me will always stick with me. Mike was there. He was really helping me with my confidence because he went through the same knee injury and he had surgery, and so I was lacking confidence in my leg, not in myself, but in my leg and my ability to actually run and cut and actually move around. So I would always talk to him about being worried about that. And, he told me, just believe in your leg, believe in the rehab that you did, because we have great guys. Simi, he's really helped me. He's great. And I felt good and it helped. Gabe's a little bit more, he's slower European player. And so he plays really under control and he gets to his shots. And so Gabe was always talking to me in practice, like slow down here. Like when you're dribbling, you can look that way. And then that'll tell the defender that you're going to fake pass there and then you'll have an opening. So Gabe was trying to teach me mental advantages in the game that I can use that can slow me down and I can get to my spots without running super fast. So I'm really thankful for both of those guys.
All right, fast forward to now. Let everybody know. I mean, you said you're home in Seattle. What is a day in the life right now of Eddie Turner like in Seattle with everything going on?
Typically during the week, I work 2 jobs right now, and I'm training and I'm doing school, obviously. So I start class at 6 a.m. Architecture classes. So my first class is from 6 to 8:50, and then my second class is from 9:10 to 11:30. And so usually, I'll get a bite to eat before my first class, make a protein shake after the second class, and head out to the gym, try to get there about 12 o'clock. And then from 12 to 2, I'll train, lift some weights with our trainer, Tommy, on Zoom or virtually take videos so that he can get my technique. And then from 2 to 7, I'm working in this construction business called Onyx. We build foundations for houses, any kind of concrete work, sidewalk, anything like that. And then from 8 to about 12 or 1, I work at Planet Fitness, a gym. And so I'm like the front desk manager at Planet Fitness.
How many days a week is that? Is that Monday through Friday for you, or?
Yeah, so I do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
at Planet Fitness?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you work this. What about the Onyx?
Onyx, I do about 4 days a week.
Okay.
So it just depends because the construction business is really based on like when the concrete pour is. So the days that we do the concrete is not every day. It's about 3 times a week, sometimes not even at all in 1 week.
What have you learned? What have you learned about concrete in that job?
What have I learned about concrete? I've learned that the most important part is the forms. So building like in wood, you build a form to keep the stability in the concrete when it's poured, because it's poured out as a liquid.
Yep.
And then when it gets hard, you need your finishers there. And if the forms are not proper and they're not stabilized into the ground with reinforcement, then it'll actually push out and the shape will be off. So the most important part is preparing for the pour so that the least amount of things go wrong. But I've kind of learned that any business, any basketball game, anything in life, that some things always gonna go not according to the plan. So you always have to be ready. You always have to have enough guys, even more guys there to prepare for that factor that things might go wrong.
I like how you tied the concrete pouring into basketball just now. That was a good time right there. Yeah, really nicely done. Does this have anything to do with what you are thinking about studying? I mean, you haven't declared a major yet because you're a sophomore, but I don't know exactly what you're thinking about studying right now. Maybe you want to tell everybody if you do have an idea.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna declare architecture.
Okay. Well, then this is fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we talked about his architecture class too. So
I hope that if I don't play professional basketball somewhere, I can start my own construction business, just kind of like the one I work in now. Like I really love it. I enjoy it.
Nice.
When did you develop a passion for that? Did you know that before coming to Columbia, or is that something you recently discovered?
No, actually, what happened was for about the last 3 summers, I've been working for Onyx, but just as a inventory manager. So like I would just organize the garages and the different places of the overhead, and I would keep that clean, just like as summer jobs, just to get some summer money. And then with the pandemic, I asked them if I can actually work out on the jobs, and so that one day turned into full time and a passion. So
That's great. So now, Mike, now I know if I go to buy a house one day, not there yet. Maybe,
Yeah.
Or you
maybe
need to
if
build
I-
a house.
If I need to build a house on an empty lot, I'm calling Eddie. And then after, I'm calling up Abby to get some sushi.
right.
We were talking to Abby Shu before we brought you on, and it has nothing to do with what she wants to do in her career, but she's just working a part-time job right now, and she was talking about working at a sushi restaurant. So
Okay. Yeah. That'd be
Kyle's
great.
always got to bring it back to food.
I mean, it's what happens. It's always on my mind.
Let's go back and talk a little bit about how the team's been getting organized and what they've been up to during all this. I mean, I know there's a weekly Zoom call and things like that, but how are you guys staying connected and trying to stay prepared to come back and start playing together again?
Yeah, so we're a really close team, like really close. Like all of us are like really good friends. You know, we're pretty much inseparable. You know, as inseparable as you can be from thousands of miles apart. We text in our group chats and individually and FaceTimes like pretty much every day. And some of the guys that are on campus right now, they're training together, and so everyone's sticking around. But we honestly think the biggest difference that's going to be for us next season is how much we like each other, how much we believe in each other, how much we trust each other. And so we really have been building a lot of trust thanks to our coach, who's been organizing a lot of events for us. Like we did a Christmas play as a team, and that really brought us together. Just putting ourselves out there and realizing that it's a judgment-free zone, realizing that we are all friends. We can all be ourselves, and we don't have to worry about being embarrassed. And that's a big deal, because when the games come, we'll be able to tell our friends and people that we trust and people that trust us, like, hey, that's wrong, you're doing it wrong, or you're doing it right. So honestly, we just think that we're going to get the bigger edge by actually being more of a team and being a unit, thanks to our coaches who are doing a great job.
Are you planning on coming back to New York at all during the semester, or you're pretty much staying where you are?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much thinking about staying here, and I'm just keeping everyone in the United States and myself, my family safe. I don't think it would be really wise to bring myself out. Obviously, I'm working out in construction, so I'm around a lot of different people all the time. And so I wouldn't want to bring that to campus where, people are quarantining there, people are doing their best to stay on campus and in sort of a bubble so that they don't have to quarantine. And so I'd want to keep all those guys safe and then come back when it's clear for me to stay and for me to be a part of the community.
When all you guys were home for a long time, I know there's 3 guys on the team that are from the West Coast. You, Joseph Smoyer from Oregon, and Maka from Las Vegas.
Yep.
So do you guys wind up communicating with each other more often because you're all in the same time zone and you guys are up 3 hours later than everybody else? Or
I think like when we were on campus, like especially like me and Big Joe, because we're both from the Northwest.
Yeah.
So
yeah. How far is Portland? I mean, you're in Seattle. It's a ways.
2.5, 3 hours.
Oh, okay. Not as far as I thought. Okay.
So like every basketball tournament locally, like his team would be up in Seattle or my team would be up in Portland. And so, we were really familiar with both areas. And so I would always like drive by something and then like I was like, Joe, like you remember this or something? And he'd be like, remember that. And so that's really good.
Did you know Joe at all before college from your travel basketball? I mean, he's a little older than you, so I don't know, but.
Well, I've seen Joe a few times, but when he was like in high school, I was a youngster. So
yeah.
So I was kind of looking up to guys like him, playing on the big stage at 8 p.m. in the AAU tournaments, because my games were at 3 p.m. or 12. So, I was a lot of watching, him on the big stage.
But you knew who he was before you got to Columbia?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Kind of explain that a little bit more. Like, was it just because he was, on a certain team, or because he's like a gigantic person, 6'11",
Well, what ends up happening is in the greater Seattle area is you grow up, playing for an organization, and then you look up and you want to be like the guys that are the seniors that are playing at the highest level, because you always hear like these guys are going to this college, these guys are putting up this number, and you usually end up seeing them in high school basketball where all the fans are, where everyone's traveling to go see them. And so when you see that person, you travel to the same tournaments for them because you're in the same organization. And so then you see the players that they're playing against, and then they happen to be really good. And then Joseph's really good. I really enjoy his game. And he happened to be playing against Seattle Rotary, which is a big organization in Seattle, a few times. And so I seen him play. And so I was always like, that's that guy, because I was really young. And so when you're 8th grade, 9th grade, you're always looking up to the guys that are in 11th grade, 12th grade.
Yeah.
Speaking of, one more thing on your high school days, you played for Brandon Roy, right?
I did, yeah.
So what was that experience like?
I did play for Brandon Roy my senior year, but my freshman, sophomore, junior year, he was always around Garfield because he went to Garfield. And my junior year, he actually coached at a rival school, and so he was kind of off the radar by then. But then he came back to Garfield to be the head coach my senior year, and it was a complete culture shock. Brandon Roy playing the NBA, he was pretty good, and so he basically brought the Portland Trailblazers style to high school basketball, to Garfield. And so he would give us a lot of freedom, and we do a lot of practice drills, and he would basically focus on player development the entire season, player development, because he truly believed that the players won the games and not the plays. And so he would give us the plays to run, but they were all based around our individual skill sets. And so every day in practice, he would cater to our skill sets, and he would cultivate us so that after 3 months, 4 months, he really instilled trust in ourselves, and he instilled trust in our teammates. And so honestly, that's probably the most confident I've ever been playing under a basketball coach, because you realize how much your teammates believe in you. You realize how much your coach believes in you and how much freedom you have to actually be the best version of yourself. So it was really great.
Can you elaborate on how that experience kind of, you feel like, turned you into such a better college player, or prepared you for college?
Yes, that experience really prepared me for college, because honestly, you go into a new environment, you have seniors on the team, you have juniors on the team, guys that have been there, guys that have created the culture, guys that have upholded the standards. And so when things aren't going your way, or when you're not playing as much as you want as a freshman, or if coach chooses you out as a freshman so that you can be on the same page as the other guys, you have to have a backbone. You have to have some sort of confidence in yourself to actually withhold that storm, to actually say, like, I'm going to go through this. I'm not going to shut down. And so having that confidence instilled in me as a basketball player allowed me to get through tough times in practice, or tough times with my injury, or coming in and playing 2 minutes at the end of the game, or stuff like that. The confidence really allowed me to be humble and to understand that it's not a reflection of me, but it's a reflection of what my coach thinks I can be, what my teammates think I can be. And I really embraced it, and it really helped.
Wow. I mean, that half hour just kind of flew by. That was great.
Yeah, no, Eddie, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I hope everything's stays well for you out in Seattle. Really interesting to hear you speak about that, especially everything you said about Brandon Roy and playing for him in high school. So I hope our listeners enjoyed that as much as we just did right now.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for inviting me.
Of course, no problem.
Okay, do I just leave? You guys kicking me out now?
No, Mike's gonna sign us off real quick.
I'm gonna sign us off really quick. Okay.
Go ahead.
So yeah, we want to thank Eddie for taking some time today. Hope to talk to you again soon. Hopefully we get back on the court playing soon. So that'll do it for this episode of Inside Columbia Basketball, presented by Vandewater. Check us out next Friday, 10 a.m. on Twitch, and then we'll be on all major podcast platforms after that later in the day. So thanks so much for watching or listening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thanks, Eddie.